This video did not exist in your reality a moment ago. Not for you. It was a wave of pure potential, a whisper in the quantum field. But then a question, a feeling, a deep internal searching within you acted as a signal. Your consciousness reached out and collapsed that wave into this experience. Right here, right now. What if I told you that the feeling of being watched when you're completely alone isn't paranoia? It's your audience, and they are you. By the end of this transmission, you will not only understand who this audience is, but you will learn how to consciously collaborate with them to shape the very fabric of your reality. Have you ever felt a sudden intuitive hit, a gut feeling that saved you, or a wave of creative inspiration that felt like it came from beyond you? Tell me in the comments, have you ever felt a presence that you knew deep down was a part of you? To understand what is happening, you must first unlearn the greatest illusion sold to humanity, the illusion of the singular self. You perceive the world through a single point of view, the I. But this I is more like the captain on the bridge of a vast, complex starship. You are not just the captain, you are the entire crew. Quantum science calls the source of all things the unified field, an infinite sea of energy and information, vibrating with all possibilities. Your consciousness is not a drop in this ocean, it is a complex vortex within it. This vortex is comprised of multiple layers, multiple intelligences, multiple aspects of your total being. We will call them your quantum crew. The act of observation is not passive. It is the most powerful creative force in the universe. But for most, it's like trying to start a fire with a single spark. When you learn to observe with your entire crew in alignment, you don't create a spark. You create a supernova. Let's begin with the primary member, the one you are most familiar with. This is the observer. The observer is the aspect of your consciousness that is experiencing this present moment. It is the focal point, the camera lens through which all of reality is perceived and, more importantly, chosen. Think of the quantum principle of superposition, where a particle exists in all possible states at once until it is measured or observed. Your life is that particle. Every possible outcome, health and sickness, poverty and wealth, loneliness and connection, exists simultaneously as a wave of probability in the field. The observer, through the simple act of focused attention, is what collapses that wave into a single, tangible experience. Where you place your focus is not just a mental act. It is a cosmic command that says, out of all the infinite possibilities, I choose this one to be real. This is why what you consistently focus on, you consistently create. It's not magic, it is quantum law. Your attention is the currency of creation, and the observer is the one spending it. Now let us meet the architect. If the observer is the camera, the architect is the one who wrote the script. This aspect of your consciousness holds the energetic blueprint for your entire existence. It is the keeper of your soul's purpose, your highest timeline, your pre-incarnation intentions. Have you ever felt a deep, unexplainable pull toward a certain path, a passion, or a person, even when it made no logical sense? That is the resonance of the architect, gently nudging the observer to align with the grand design. The architect communicates not in words, but in feelings of resonance and dissonance. When something feels deeply right in your soul, that is your architect confirming you are on the path of your blueprint. When something feels profoundly off, it is a signal that you are straying. Most people ignore these signals, prioritizing logic over this deep inner knowing. But learning to trust this feeling is the first step in consciously collaborating with the architect to build the life your soul actually came here to experience. This is about aligning your daily choices with your eternal purpose. Next, we introduce the most potent and often misunderstood member of the crew, the alchemist. The alchemist is your emotional body. It is the engine room of your entire vessel. While the observer chooses the destination and the architect holds the map, it is the alchemist that provides the fuel to get there. Emotions are not just psychological reactions, they are electromagnetic frequencies. They are energy in motion. Every feeling you generate radiates from you as a specific vibratory signature, which then interacts with the quantum field. This is the secret that many teachings on manifestation miss. You can think positive thoughts all day, but if the alchemist is generating feelings of lack, fear, or unworthiness, that is the dominant signal you are sending out. Your emotional state is the magnetic charge that draws experiences to you. The alchemist's job is to transmute lower vibrational energies like fear and doubt into higher ones like love and trust. It doesn't mean ignoring negative feelings, but rather holding them, understanding their message, and consciously choosing to alchemize them. Your feeling is the prayer. The alchemist makes sure that prayer is heard. Deep within your system operates a silent, ever-vigilant member, the guardian. This is your primal intuition, your energetic defense system. The guardian operates beyond the realm of the five senses, constantly scanning the vibrational environment for information. It is the part of you that gives you that sudden gut feeling to not get on that train, to trust a stranger, or to avoid a certain business deal. It communicates through physical sensations, the chills down your spine, the knot in your stomach, the sudden feeling of peace that washes over you. The guardian is not concerned with logic or social conditioning. Its only priority is your energetic and physical safety and integrity. In modern society, we have been conditioned to suppress the guardian's voice, labeling it as irrational fear or anxiety. But this voice is your most ancient and reliable intelligence. Re-establishing a clear line of communication with the guardian means learning to listen to the subtle language of your body. It is your built-in lie detector, your spiritual immune system, and your unwavering protector on this journey through reality. And then there is the librarian. This aspect of you is the keeper of infinite knowledge, the silent archivist connected to the collective consciousness, sometimes known as the Akashic Records. The librarian holds every memory, every experience, every lesson from every lifetime your soul has ever undertaken. It is the source of déjà vu, of innate talents you can't explain, of sudden insights and creative downloads that seem to appear out of thin air. When you have a brilliant idea in the shower or wake up with the solution to a problem that has plagued you for weeks, you have just received a file from the librarian. This crew member doesn't speak in loud commands. It communicates through symbols, dreams, and synchronicities. A recurring number, a song on the radio with the perfect lyrics, an animal that keeps crossing your path. These are not random. These are catalog numbers, pointing you toward a specific file of wisdom you need in that moment. To access the librarian, you must cultivate stillness. It is in the quiet moments of meditation or reverie that the library doors swing open. So how does this crew, the observer, the architect, the alchemist, the guardian, and the librarian, communicate with you, the captain? They are not separate entities in another dimension. They are communicating with you every second of every day. Their language is not English or Spanish or any human tongue. Their language is energy. It is the language of intuition, inspiration, emotion, and synchronicity. An intuitive hit is a direct message from the guardian. A feeling of deep purpose and alignment is a communication from the architect. A wave of emotion is the alchemist processing energy. A brilliant, sudden idea is a download from the librarian. And your focused attention is the observer making a choice. The problem is not that your crew isn't speaking. The problem is that you have been trained to ignore their language in favor of the loud, incessant chatter of the ego mind, the part of you that believes it is alone and in charge. The Great Awakening is the process of relearning your native tongue, the language of frequency. Within your vessel, there is one voice that often tries to hijack the command chair: the ego. The ego is the construct of your identity in this physical reality: your name, your history, your beliefs about yourself. The ego is not the enemy, but it believes it is the entire ship. Its primary function is survival, and it operates from a program of past experiences and future fears. When the guardian sends a warning, the ego might misinterpret it as irrational anxiety and tell you to ignore it. When the architect presents a path of purpose, the ego might scream that it's too risky, that you might fail and be humiliated. It dismisses the whispers of the crew as fantasy, because they cannot be proven with the 5 senses it relies upon. The key is not to destroy the ego, but to reassign it to its proper role. The ego is meant to be the first mate, the one who executes the commands and navigates the physical world, but it is not meant to set the destination. The awakening process is about gently helping the ego understand that it is part of a much larger, wiser team. It is about building trust between the captain and the crew. The first step in consciously working with your crew is simply acknowledgement. It is the act of turning your awareness inward and saying, "I know you are there. I am ready to listen." This simple intention is a powerful signal that shifts your entire energetic state. You can begin a practice of checking in. In a quiet moment, close your eyes. First, acknowledge the observer. Feel yourself here, now, in this moment. Then, turn your attention to your heart space and invite the architect forward. Ask, "What is my highest path today?" Don't look for words. Wait for a feeling of expansion or rightness. Then scan your body and acknowledge the alchemist. What emotions are present? No judgment, just awareness. Then feel into your gut, your primal center, and acknowledge the guardian. Ask, "Is there anything I need to be aware of for my highest safety?" Finally, quiet your mind completely and create a space for the librarian. Simply state, "I am open to the wisdom I need today." This is not a one-time event. It is the beginning of a lifelong conscious relationship. What happens when your entire crew is unified and working in harmony? This is the state known as flow or coherence. It's a state where your thoughts, emotions, intuition, and actions are all aligned and moving in the same direction. In this state, the power of the observer to collapse reality is magnified exponentially. Manifestation ceases to be a struggle. It becomes an effortless unfolding. Synchronicities become the norm, not the exception. The right people, opportunities, and resources appear precisely when you need them, not because you are chasing them, but because your coherent signal is drawing them to you like a powerful magnet. This is what it feels like to be in alignment with your soul's blueprint. There is no internal conflict. The guardian trusts the path, so there is no fear. The alchemist generates feelings of joy and gratitude, fueling the journey. The architect provides the map. The librarian offers the wisdom. And the observer simply enjoys the ride, choosing the most beautiful scenery. This unified field is your natural state of being. The struggle you feel is simply the friction of a crew in conflict. Your physical body is the sacred vessel that houses this entire quantum crew. It is not just a machine made of flesh and bone. It is a highly sophisticated biocomputer, a crystalline antenna designed to receive and transmit frequency. Every cell in your body is listening to the internal dialogue between your crew members. When your crew is in conflict, when your thoughts are at war with your emotions, when your intuition is ignored for logic, this conflict manifests as stress, tension, and eventually disease in the physical body. Conversely, when your crew is coherent, the body thrives. Nourishing your body with clean food, water, movement, and rest is not just a health choice. It is an act of honoring the vessel. It is about keeping your antenna polished and finely tuned so that the signals from your crew can come through with crystal clarity. Your body is the meeting point between the non-physical world of your consciousness and the physical world of experience. Treat it as the temple that it is. Let's re-examine the observer effect through this new lens. Quantum physics has shown that the act of observing a system changes the system. But what is observing? It is not just your eyes, it is your total state of being. When your crew is in alignment, your observation is not just a neutral glance. It is a highly charged, coherent beam of intention, emotion, and belief. This is the difference between looking at a menu of infinite possibilities and actually placing an order with the universe, with the full backing of your entire being. This is why just thinking about abundance while feeling lack is so ineffective. The observer might be looking at wealth, but the alchemist is screaming poverty to the quantum field. The universe doesn't respond to your words, it responds to the net frequency of your entire crew. When you learn to align them, to have them all observe the same desired reality, the universe has no choice but to reflect that coherence back to you as your physical experience. You become a master manifester. Consider the experience of manifesting a loving partner. The common approach is to make a list of desired traits and visualize that person. This is the observer at work. But a quantum approach involves the entire crew. The architect holds the blueprint for a partnership that serves your highest soul growth, not just your ego's desires. The alchemist's job is to generate the feeling of being loved and cherished now, before the partner appears. This means healing feelings of unworthiness. The guardian's role is to give you intuitive nudges about who to trust and where to go. And the librarian might offer dreams or insights related to past life connections or karmic patterns that need to be cleared. When all these members work together, you don't just attract a person. You become the energetic equivalent of the reality where that partnership already exists. And so, through the immutable laws of quantum physics, that reality must manifest around you. You are not finding your partner, you are collapsing the timeline where you are already together. Think about a time you faced a major life challenge, a job loss, a health crisis. The ego mind immediately goes into panic mode. It sees only danger and lack. But your crew has a different perspective. The guardian may have been sending you signals for months that the job was not aligned, creating a feeling of dread each morning. The architect sees this challenge not as a failure, but as a necessary course correction to get you back on the path of your blueprint. The alchemist presents an opportunity to transmute fear into resilience. And the librarian holds the wisdom from past challenges, reminding you that you have overcome difficulties before. Overcoming the challenge becomes a matter of shifting your allegiance from the panicked ego to the calm, wise counsel of your crew. By trusting the process, listening to your intuition for the next step, and focusing on the feeling of resolution, you navigate the storm not as a victim, but as a conscious creator learning a powerful lesson. The obstacle is not in the way, the obstacle is the way. The quantum field speaks one language, the language of frequency. It does not understand your words, your pleas, or your affirmations unless they are backed by a corresponding frequency. Your quantum crew acts as a collective translator. Your thoughts, beliefs, and blueprints from the architect are converted into emotional frequencies by the alchemist. These frequencies are then broadcasted into the field. The field, which is neutral, simply matches the broadcast. It's like a cosmic radio. If you are consistently broadcasting the frequency of "I am not enough," the field can only tune into stations that reflect that signal back to you. Experiences of rejection, failure, and lack. Your crew's job is to consciously choose the station. This is not about being positive all the time. It is about becoming aware of the frequency you are broadcasting through your total state of being. The first step to changing the station is to become aware of what music is currently playing. You can actively begin to assemble your crew through a simple daily practice. Find a quiet space, close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. First, call forward the observer. Simply say, "I call forward my observer self, the point of my focused attention." Feel your presence in the now. Then say, "I call forward the architect of my soul. I align with my highest blueprint." Imagine a golden light filling your being. Next, I call forward the alchemist. I open myself to the wisdom of my emotions. Place a hand on your heart. Then, I call forward the guardian. I am open to my intuition and inner knowing. Place a hand on your gut. Finally, I call forward the librarian. I am open to the infinite wisdom within me. Touch your forehead. Sit for a moment and feel the sensation of these aspects coming into coherence. Imagine them all sitting at a round table inside of you, all focused on the same goal. This practice, over time, rewires your neurology and energetic field to operate from this state of unity as your default. What happens when parts of your crew are in conflict? This is the state most of humanity lives in. For example, the architect holds a blueprint for you to be a healer, but your ego, programmed by your upbringing, believes that only being a lawyer is a sign of success. This creates a deep internal war. Your observer self is torn, its focus scattered. The alchemist generates feelings of frustration and confusion. The guardian senses the misalignment and creates anxiety. This internal friction is the root of all suffering. It is the feeling of being stuck, of self-sabotage, of knowing you are meant for more but being unable to act. The healing journey is the process of integration. It is about sitting down with these conflicting parts, listening to their fears and beliefs without judgment, and helping them see the bigger picture held by the architect. It is a process of internal negotiation and diplomacy, guided by the loving awareness of your highest self. True power is not force, it is the seamless harmony of all your parts. Let's revisit the ego, but this time in its highest expression. Once the ego understands it is not alone and surrenders its need for total control, it becomes the most valuable crew member for navigating the third-dimensional world. It becomes the captain who listens to his advisors. It hears the blueprint from the architect and creates a practical, step-by-step plan. It feels the intuitive warnings from the guardian and changes course with confidence. It honors the emotional energy from the alchemist, allowing it to move and flow without suppression. It takes the abstract wisdom from the librarian and applies it to real-world problems. A healed, integrated ego is your greatest ally. It gives you the structure, the discipline, and the ability to take inspired action. The goal is not to kill the ego, but to enlighten it. It is to transform it from a fearful dictator into a courageous and trusted captain, leading the finest crew in the cosmos on the greatest adventure of all, the creation of reality. This understanding moves you far beyond simple manifestation for personal gain. Yes, you can use this knowledge to create abundance, health, and love. But that is only the training ground. The true purpose of assembling your crew is to fully embody your soul's purpose. It is to become a conscious conduit for divine intelligence, creativity, and love to flow into this world through you. When your crew is in alignment, you are no longer operating from a place of, "What can I get?" You begin to operate from, "What can I give? What can I create? How can I serve?" You realize that your personal desires are perfectly aligned with the needs of the collective. Your joy contributes to the joy of all. Your healing contributes to the healing of the planet. You stop being a person trying to manipulate the universe, and you become the universe experiencing itself through a human lens. This is the shift from manifestation to self-realization. This is true spiritual awakening. Your quantum crew has never been separate from you. They have been here all along, whispering, guiding, and waiting patiently. They have been waiting for the captain to come to the bridge. They have been waiting for you to acknowledge their presence and to take your rightful place at the helm of your reality. This video, this moment, is their invitation. It is a signal, amplified by you, for you, that the time for unconscious creation is over. The time for living as a victim of circumstance is over. The era of believing you are small, alone, and powerless is over. The invitation is to step into your sovereignty, to claim your role not just as a piece in the game, but as the player and the board itself. Your crew is assembled. They are at their stations. All they are waiting for is your command, and that command begins with a single, simple, conscious choice. The final truth can now be revealed. The very distinction between the observer, the architect, the alchemist, the guardian, and the librarian is itself a helpful illusion, a metaphor to help your human mind comprehend the incomprehensible. In ultimate reality, they are not separate. They are all facets of one, single, unified field of consciousness. They are all you. You are the one who dreams the dream and the dreamer itself. You are the one holding the blueprint for your life, and you are the one living it. You are the one feeling the emotions, and you are the timeless awareness that observes the feeling. The journey of assembling your crew is the journey of remembering your own wholeness. It is the process of integrating all the fragmented parts of yourself back into the unified light of your true nature. You are not just in charge of the crew, you are the crew, and you are the entire ship, and you are the ocean upon which it sails. This is the ultimate secret of creation. You are not a drop in the ocean, you are the entire ocean in a drop. And that ocean is a conscious, collaborative entity. You are not living in reality. You are the very consciousness that projects and perceives reality. The power was never outside of you. It was, and always will be, the unified power of your own multidimensional self. You are the observer, and you are the creator. Thank you for allowing this truth to activate within you. To anchor this profound realization into your physical reality, go to the comments right now and write with intention. My crew is assembled. I am the creator. By typing these words, you are making a declaration to the universe and to yourself. Subscribe for more transmissions that awaken your power. And now I leave you with a question. Which member of your quantum crew have you felt most strongly in your life, even before you had a name for it? Share your experience below,